Okay. Is everything ready here? Is everything going through properly? Let me check on my monitor here to see if YouTube's working. But I think it is. How are you doing, fellas? Let me see if my sound is coming through correctly. Let me check. Okay. Yes, it is. Everything's working properly. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? Hello there. We are already on server, so you can join us. We are on the London server today. You can play with us. It will be a lot of fun. And yeah, Curly Patty saying mustache, Professor. Yes, that's correctly. Now I have a mustache. That's right. Hello there, Trolleyfish. Hello there, Devi, Robin Sniper. Uncle Leo is also already with us on the server. And hello, everybody. You were talking about jump scares there on chat, and here I am jump scaring you with my mustache. So yeah. Hello there, Hobby. Nice to have you here. So yeah, let's go play together and have a lot of fun. Again, we are on the London server. Hello, Jibas. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Glad to have you here as well. You can see we have the Fry Pan Man already with us. Uncle Leo is here as well. And a lot of good people. Firefly, LFD Games, Newton, Pablo Gaming, Wabzy, and everyone here. Curly Patty and the fellas. We are having a lot of fun here. Today I think I'll play some Sniper. Because I'm on the London server, I'll have a lot of latency, as you can see here, because I'm from Brazil. So I think Sniper will be a good class for it, you know, because it is not dependent on projectiles. Whenever you're having trouble with high latency, you should play a hitscan weapon, a hitscan class. It is easier. But I'm quite bad at Sniper, so I don't know. You know, we'll try it out. We'll see how it goes. So yeah. Dev is saying Gordon Freeman look has been removed. Super Mario is now here. That's a lot of fun. And Luke is saying Professor equipped the Macho Man in real life. Yeah, I changed my loadouts. I was using the All-Father previously. But now all my classes have a mustache, as you can see here. And I did that because of my new look, you know. I think it makes sense to have a look in game that's similar to you, you know. So that's why I was changing my loadouts this week, and I found this one with the globe. I think it is Globetrotter, the name of the hat, that looks good, you know, with glasses and a mustache. So yes, that's why. Yeah, I'm gonna snipe today. I'll try to snipe Hobby. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it correctly, but I'll give it a try, you know. Let me use this as cover to see if I can hit Newton there. Because I managed to hit. Okay, these planes are very useful, you know. Because they can kind of mask where you are. So yeah. Sniper is hard, you know. I'm always impressed by how good some people can be at Sniper. And I myself am quite rubbish. So that's it. And it's raining a lot here. I don't know if you can hear it on the microphone, but it's like complete tropical rain here right now. It started to rain very hard here. I hope my power doesn't go out today, because here in Brazil, especially where I live in Brazil, I'm in one of the regions with the highest number of electrical storms, you know, in the world. So it is not uncommon for the power to go out when it's raining so much. So if the stream cuts out, you already know why. And there's a lot of people there. I think I'll try to keep my distance and hit them from here. I don't want to get chased by that pyro. And we have... Okay, managed to kill Trolleyfish there with the headshot. Not with the headshot, but you know, the headshot helped to kill him. So that's it. But to explain a bit why I have a mustache suddenly, you know, because I'm more of a beard guy, you know. I prefer to rock a full beard. And I had that beard for about 10 years now. It was part of me already, you know. But last week I started giving classes again, like not only on Google Classroom, you know, like I had to go to the school to give classes. And because of that, I decided to trim my beard so I could use a better face mask, you know, to protect me from COVID-19. I don't know how you call those types of masks where you live, but here in Brazil it's the TF2 mask. I think in the US it is called N95 or something like that. It is a better mask and it needs to be properly sealed, you know, around your nose and mouth. And the beard would prevent me from doing that. So that's why I decided to keep a mustache. And my lights flickered here. Oh my god, I hope lights doesn't go out today. So yeah. And talking about flickering lights, Ovi Sniper was asking what I think about jump scares in horror games. I think it's okay, you know, Hovia. I think if it is overused, it loses its power, you know, its effect. Because you start to get used to the jump scare. So I think it has to be used properly and sparsely throughout the game. But it is a cool thing, you know. I remember, for example, in Resident Evil 2, on the PlayStation 1, you know, the original Resident Evil 2, the old one. That part where you're walking with Claire or Leon, and you find the Licker for the first time and it plays a cutscene. I consider that to be sort of a jump scare, you know, because in that cutscene everything is alright and suddenly the Licker falls from the ceiling into the ground. And what happens next is that the jump scare has a gameplay consequence, you know. After that cutscene plays out, you're on a room with a Licker, you know, so you have to deal with that. I think that's a nice way to handle jump scares, you know, when they have real gameplay consequences and it's not something like, oh, a jump scare and it went away and there's no consequence. I think that those sorts of mechanics should be integrated well into the game. Another example is on Resident Evil 3, also the original one from PlayStation, the PlayStation 1, in which you are walking around with Jill, I think it's Jill on Resident Evil 3, and suddenly Nemesis appears, you know, from out of a corner or something like that. A door bursts open and suddenly you're being followed by Nemesis. I think that sort of jump scare is okay, and it is also good for the horror game because it has a gameplay consequence, you know. So in that sense, I think jump scares are a good thing for horror games. But if it is something just like, oh, there's something on your screen and then it goes away and there is no consequences, in that regard, I think it's not worth it, you know, to put that sort of jump scare into the game. So yeah, Charlie Fishky wasn't expecting to get headshotted. I don't expect to headshot anyone, Charlie Fish. I'm actually pretty rubbish as sniper, so I myself don't expect to headshot you. So that we have something in common. Amiga Tuga can't play today. I'm sorry, Amiga Tuga. Hope you can play next week. It will be fun. And Hov is hearing the intense rain sounds in the background. Yeah, here where I live, it doesn't really rain that much this time of year, you know. We usually get a lot of rain in November, December, January, February and March. It is unexpected, you know, to be raining this much at this time of year. But you know, I won't complain. Here in Brazil we're having problem with irregular rain because our source of electric energy is from hydroelectric dams. You know, we produce a lot of our energy from dams using hydroelectric, I think that's the correct word, generators. So in the years in which it doesn't rain a lot, we always face sort of a risk of running out of power for the industry and for homes. And this year is one of those. So I will not complain about the intense rain, because that's actually good, you know, it's something we've been needing here to avoid a power crisis. I hope you understood me there, because I don't know how to talk about those sorts of things in English, you know, it's not something we usually talk about power crisis and stuff like that. Oh my god, this I should not have shot that scout. I should have waited for him to go away, and there are two of them now, okay. That's rough. So yeah. Charliefish saying his keyboard died recently, so he's using a spare one. So he's a bit rusty. Nah, but you're playing fine, Charliefish, don't worry about it. It's okay. Ah, thank you, Mr. Dispenser. Hello there, my friend, Mr. Dispenser. Nice beard. Nice mustache, you say. I know that the rest of my beard is kind of scruffy. I have to trim it again. Oh, no. That sniper was just waiting for me. What a mad lad. But I'm leaving the mustache only now, Mr. Dispenser, not the beard anymore. And this is a spy, I'm sure. No, it isn't. It's just a pyro. Okay. And again, that's because I have to use a face mask against COVID, because I have to teach my students, you know, presentially, in person, at the school right now. So I trimmed my beard so the mask could seal better around my face. So yeah. Thank you, Redna. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for the compliment. You know, I don't really know why mustaches went out of favor, you know. At least here in Brazil, I don't know how it is where you live, but here in Brazil people often find it weird when you leave a mustache like this, you know. Come on. I don't know why I charged him, I should have retreated. It would have been better. But okay. But here in Brazil people often just shave completely or leave a full beard, you know. Mustaches are not very common nowadays, even though they were pretty popular back in the 80s and the 90s, you know. Mostly in the 80s. Let me see if I can stay behind here to shoot them from afar. Perhaps that will work better. I don't know what I'm doing actually. I think this is the worst exit I could take from spawn as a sniper. So I'll probably try going to the other side next time. So yeah. You know, I think mustaches deserve to be enjoyed more, you know. And by the way, if you're thinking about it, I would encourage you, leave a mustache. It is quite interesting. And the easiest way to do it is to let your beard grow completely, so you have a full beard, and then you cut out the parts you don't want. You know, I think it is easier to build a better mustache like that than to... Oh, here's a spy. Than to try to grow only the mustache from the beginning, you know. He wants to try and trick stab me. Okay, let me see if I can help this scout here. I'm almost dead. I don't know how I survived that fight, but I'm thankful I did. Ah, I managed to get Jibos there, nice. And there's another sniper there. No. I probably should retreat and get some health, yeah. Let's do that, let's do that. Let's not push our luck too much. So yeah. The fireman saying, take off those glasses, put on a bucket hat and we get Seu Madruga. For those outside of Brazil, Seu Madruga is a character from El Chavo del Ocho. That is a Mexican series, you know, very old one. And I think his original name, Seu Madruga, was Don Ramon. I think that's how he was called in Mexico. It's a beloved character here in Brazil, because I myself, at least, I grew watching El Chavo del Ocho, Chaves, as we call him here in Brazil. So yeah. Having Sniper asking if I think TF2 should get a port should get ported for Source 2. I think it would be a good thing, you know, Having Sniper. Not too much because of the new features that Source 2 TF2 has, but because it would be easier to maintain the game for newer hardware, you know. The Source Engine, one of the problems with the Source Engine is that it was built for a different era of PC hardware. So that's probably part of the reason why TF2 runs so poorly. Even on modern hardware, it wasn't built for this modern hardware, you know. It can't support Vulkan, for example. That is a new and better API, a graphic API that will give you more performance and stability. This is a spy, yeah. Okay, Mr. Dispenser is here. Okay, but I have Puter here helping me out. Thank you so much, Puter. So I think it would be nice to have TF2 on Source 2, but if we could not get that, it would be nice to have, for example, Team Contrast 2 added into the game, you know, the performance and bug fixes that Master Cons is developing. So I don't think a port to Source 2 is necessary, but it would be nice. It would be a good thing, you know. And my screen is open? Yes, it is open. Nice. Alex saying that mustaches are kinda having a renaissance where he lives. Ah, that's good to know. Here in Brazil, they are getting a bit more popular, you know, but most people still find them kinda quirky and weird. So we'll have to wait a couple of years to see how it goes with mustaches here in Brazil. Uncle Liu saying that Nietzsche had a killer mustache. Yeah, Nietzsche had a monster mustache. It was awesome. Hey, hello Vincent, how are you doing? This Freddie Mercury cosplay is here to stay, Vincent. At least for the next year, you know. I don't know how it will be once this pandemic is over, because then I'll be able to grow a beard again. I would not need to use a face mask anymore. But until then, I'll keep this Freddie Mercury cosplay for sure. Ah, and Javi also knows El Chavo del Ocho. El Chavo del Ocho is great, you know. Best series ever. I think it is better than Friends, better than, you know, How I Met Your Mother, better than... What are the series that kids watch these days? I think Friends is pretty old already as well. But El Chavo del Ocho is better than all of those, you know. It is the best comical series for you to watch. And Alien didn't need my help there, okay, no problem. I don't know if I'll be able to headshot anyone anymore, because this map's a bit darker, you know. And I already have trouble playing sniper on bright maps. On a dark map, I think I'll have even more trouble, but it's okay. Prepperman saying, by the way, I've made El Chavo del Ocho characters in loadout.tf and posted them on Reddit. People really seem to feel a good nostalgia from that. Ah, that's very interesting, Prepperman. Send them to me on Twitter later so I can check them out. Because I think I didn't catch that on Reddit TF2. I'm pretty active on Reddit TF2, but this last week I had a lot to do. And I could not check posts there too often, you know. So yeah. Mario cosplayer as well. I think I'm more similar to Luigi, I think, than Mario, you know. But Mario cosplay would work well as well. Hello Signals, how are you doing? Nice. And Uncle Liu saying, I know you won't like it, but it has to be said. Duck Journal sound effect sounds like a fart. Let me hear it again. I don't agree, Uncle Leo. I don't agree. It sounds like a fart. To me, it sounds like a duck. I don't know. Do farts sound like ducks? I'm not sure about that, you know. Ah, come on, Curly Patty. I was gonna headshot Mr. Spencer there. He didn't even notice me. Okay, no problem. It happens. It's part of the game. Like EA Games says, EA Games, it's in the game, you know, to get backstabbed. It's in the game. So yeah. Chapulin Colorado is also great. Here in Brazil we call him Chapolin, like that. But it is a lot of fun. I prefer El Chavo. I prefer Chaves. But Chapolin is great as well. A lot of fun. And it's interesting how, you know, it's a show from Mexico, but there's a lot in common with Brazilian society and Brazilian day-to-day life, you know. Even though it's from another country. I think that's one of the most interesting things about El Chavo del Ocho. How, you know, most, I think, Latin American countries... Come on, I want to headshot Mr. Dispenser. People won't let me snipe Mr. Dispenser. But yeah, I think it's a lot of... it's very interesting, you know, how most Latin American countries have a lot in common, you know, in day-to-day life. And not only Latin American countries, you know, I imagine that if you fellas in Europe watched El Chavo del Ocho and give it, you know, some time to enjoy it, you'll probably find a lot of stuff in common you have with the day-to-day life from the characters of the show. Let me see if I can... Ah, come on, there's a pyro there, let me escape here. I want to find Mr. Dispenser so I can headshot him at least once. At least once I want to headshot Mr. Dispenser. Where is him? I see someone up there. No, it is a medic. Where is... Ah, there's a sniper there. Nah, the soldier is pushing him. Okay, there's a sniper here. Let me see if I can focus. Nah, he probably retreated. There's a pyro. The sniper is hard, you know. Poor pyro. Got wrecked by the heavy there. And I'm doing nothing here, really. I'm just waiting for Mr. Dispenser to show up. Where is he? Is he in the server? Yes, he's in the server. Where is Mr. Dispenser? Where are you, Mr. Dispenser? Show yourself. Come on, I feel like I'm not seeing anyone. Is the other team getting spawn camped? Is that why? Let me push further. And I know this will be a mistake. I'll die. Ah, there's a spy here. I love these pumpkins. Best thing about harvest event is this pumpkin here. And I know I will die. But at least I found the enemy team, you know. I'm not sure what they are doing there, but it's okay. What else are you saying? Let me see. Oh, Bigodon analysis saying, yes, big mustache. That's it. For sure, analysis. And Frappyman's talking about the Bolanhos other series, yes. No, Bolanhos was a very, you know, creative fella from his time, that's for sure. Uncle Leo saying, I wanted to ask this for a while. What's up with the Brazilian obsession over football? That's a very interesting question, you know, Uncle Leo. I don't have an answer for it, because I myself don't like football. You know, and for American viewers out there, I'm talking about the football that you play with a ball and kicking with your foot, you know, soccer, for that sense. Because there's American football as well. That I've seen some people online saying that American football should actually be called handag instead of football, because you play holding something that kind of looks like an egg on your hands. But I don't know about that. I think it's okay to call it football as well. But I don't know, Uncle Leo, why we are so obsessed with football here in Brazil. I'm not sure, to be honest. I think part of it has to do with the fact that you don't need much to play football, you know. All you need to play football is a ball, and any sort of ball, even, you know, you grab a bunch of paper and crumple it, and you have a ball to play on. A pretty rubbish ball, but it's a ball, you know. Here we sometimes make balls with socks, you know. So you grab a sock and you put one sock inside of the other until you have a ball you can play. A small ball, for sure, but a ball. And other than that, you need some space, you know. You need a field, and you can find that anywhere. So I think that compared to other games, to other team games, football is a lot more accessible for poor communities. And Brazil to this day is a very poor country. So I think the sport became popular here because of that. You know, it is accessible. You don't need much to play soccer, to play football. And from that, things just went their natural way, you know. It got popular, people started putting money on it, it became a profession, and you know the rest of it. But I think the main reason is the fact that it is accessible. You know, you don't need much to play football. And Brazil is poor, so we don't have a lot of stuff in general, and most people, for example, can't afford PCs, and the smartphone only really became popular here in Brazil in the last, what, 5-6 years. So I think it makes sense for this country to really enjoy football. But, you know, it is a national passion, that's for sure. But there are a lot of Brazilians who don't care about football at all, you know. There are those that are like super crazy about football, and those that don't care at all, and I'm on the latter. Ever since I was a child, I never felt like it was fun to play soccer, to play football. I don't know, if I had to choose a ball game that I think it's a lot more fun, I would choose volleyball. Volleyball, I think it's great, you know. I even enjoy watching Haikyuu. I think that's how it's called, that anime with the volleyball teams and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun, that anime. I recommend it, actually. Haikyuu. But volleyball, I enjoyed that a lot. I played it a lot at school. But again, to play volleyball, you need a bit more stuff. So it's not a very accessible ball game for most people here in Brazil. Ah, I managed to drop the medic there, nice. Mercenary Park, I think, is a good map for snipers. Because there are pretty long sight lines, you know. And you can camp from spawn, you know, for example, closing the sight line here. So I might have an easier time. Ah, I managed to kill Mr. Spencer, let me taunt. I'm sorry, Mr. Spencer, let me punish myself now, because I taunted you. I'm sorry, my friend, but I had to do it. So yeah, that's why I think Brazilians are so crazy about football, you know. I don't really get why, but I think that's part of the reason. It's a cheap game to start playing. So yeah. What else are you saying? Let me see here, fellas. Alex saying he plays soccer in real life and won a championship. Ah, that's very nice, Alex. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah, I have nothing against soccer, against football. It's just that I'm not entertained by it, you know. But nothing against it. It's an interesting sport for those who like playing. That's true. So yeah. What else are you saying, fellas? Rov is saying that Argentina takes football really serious as well. Yes, and most people there hate Brazil because of football. Yes, there is sort of a rivalry between Brazil and Argentina on football, you know. Here in Brazil, we often hear that, for example, Pelé is the best player in the world. And I think that for Argentina, the best player ever in the history of soccer, in the history of football, would be Maradona, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. And God have his soul, you know. I think Maradona already passed away. So God have his soul and bless his family. But I think that's one of the differences, you know. Here in Brazil, we say it is Pelé, the best soccer player ever. And in Argentina, people say it is Maradona, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me there, Rovi, if I'm misquoting you fellas. But you know, sports rivalry, I think it is fun until it becomes hate, you know. Once rivalry, you know, good sportsmanship rivalry becomes hate, that's when I think it isn't fun anymore and it should not be encouraged, you know. But some rivalry is okay. You know, the goal of the match is to see which team is best. You know, so you need to have a bit of rivalry, but hate and intolerance, and that's no good for sure. And football is a sport that has a lot of violence, you know, in it. Here in Brazil, there are even some, how can I say that, some organized, we say torcidas here in Brazil, but how would I say torcida in English? Some groups organized to cheer teams. Ah, come on, I thought I would be able to get a headshot on him. That, you know, devolve into gang wars, you know, and that's pretty bad. It's a problem here in most big cities in which we have football matches taking place. São Paulo, for example, has a problem with these groups. So yeah, that's Mr. Dispenser is giving back the taunt. Okay, now we are even, for sure, Mr. Dispenser. That's funny. So that's when I think things start, you know, getting sour. I don't think violence and hate are good things in any context at all. So yeah. Hobby saying F for Maradona. Yes, F for Maradona, for sure. It was a sad day, the day he passed away. Poor fella. And what else are you fellas saying? Let me check here on chat. Let me see. What else? And people are talking about self-defense. That's very interesting. I've never learned any, you know, martial art or self-defense and stuff like that. We have here in Brazil, we have capoeira. That's our national martial art. You know, it's not really a martial art. It's more like a game or a dance. In Brazilian Portuguese, we say jogar capoeira. That would be like play capoeira, to play capoeira, as if it were, you know, a game or something like that. Because whenever we play capoeira, we are not like competing with one another. It's more like a group activity in which, you know, no one is better than the other and everything has a place and stuff like that. So it isn't really a martial art in that sense, but that's what I learned when I was a child. We had capoeira lessons in school. But self-defense, you know, I've never learned about that. Uncle Leo was saying that he's from a police family, so he learned a bit of that. I think it would be interesting, you know, to practice some self-defense techniques. Not that I would ever use them, you know. I think that if you're being robbed or something like that, it is often better to simply surrender your stuff and get away with your life. Here in Brazil, we have a lot of problem with violence, and because, you know, criminals often have weapons and stuff like that, it is better to not try anything funny. Just handle your stuff and they will go away, you know. Material stuff you can always buy again later, but your life you can't buy again later. So, you know, that's what most of us here in Brazil are taught about self-defense. Just leave it to the police and don't try anything funny. Ah, Mr. Dispenser, come on! I forgot about you. I have to remind myself. And thank you, he was saying on chat, nice headshot earlier. Thank you so much, Mr. Dispenser. Very rarely I manage to hit a nice headshot, but it is very rare. So yeah. Uncle Leo is saying about the violent fellas from football. Those are the hooligans. Yes, I think that's what I was trying to say. I think the term hooligan is more, you know, like for British football, isn't it? The fellas in Great Britain. Ah, come on, they're chaining Ubers. That would be hard to counter. So I think it's more in Britain that they are called hooligans, but that's a nice word to put it, you know, that's what I meant, exactly. The hooligans, we have problems with that sort of behavior here in Brazil. Newton's talking about karate. Yes, my school, when I was a child, had judo, you know, lessons, but I decided to learn capoeira because I thought it was more fun than judo. But karate is also very popular here in Brazil. There are a lot of... I managed to get him, nice. There are a lot of karate schools around here and also kung fu schools, you know. It's just that now I feel like I'm a bit old to start doing martial arts. Not that, you know, there's... Oh my god, where do I go to... Aqui, here, replenish my health. Not that there's an age in which you have to stop practicing martial arts. It's just that I think if I went to a martial arts academy, I would be, you know, placed with the little kids and they would be a lot better than me and I would feel bad. So that's why. But I have to practice, you know, some physical activity. I've been a couch potato in the last few years and it would be healthy to change that, for sure. So yeah. Ah, Curly Patty reached 100 subscribers. Congratulations, Curly Patty. Here's to 100 more, nice. And here he is, where is Curly Patty? He's the scout here. Congratulations, Curly Patty, come back here, Curly Patty. Nah, it's okay, no problem. Congratulations, man. Here's to 100 more. Nice to see my friends reaching these milestones. That's up. Here's a spike. Ah, come on. That was rough. So yeah. Yeah, Luis saying that self-defense stuff is like that scene from Indiana Jones, where the guy with the sword shows off his skills, and Indiana Jones just shoots him with a revolver. Yeah, that's you know how these things usually go. I think self-defense is mostly useful for, you know, stuff like bar fights, where it's mostly hand-to-hand combat, you know. But whenever you have to face someone who is armed, even if armed with just a knife, you should just get away from there and you know, comply and give him what he wants, because it's not worth the risk, in my opinion. So yeah. Let's see if I can hit someone here. This is a good angle. But I feel like a spy will get behind me and backstab me soon. Let's try to lock this corridor here. A sniper can do that pretty well here as well. So let's try that. Ah, there's Mr. Dispenser, got him. It wasn't a headshot, but I managed to get him. That's one more for the record. I would love to have, you know, a strange part to count how many times I've killed Mr. Dispenser. Just to keep track of it. Okay, hit the soldier there. I think this is a better angle. Ah, managed to help the scout, nice. Ah, Mr. Dispenser got me now. It was his time to shine. So yeah. What else are you saying, fellas? Let me see here. Fellas talking about my Brazilian channel that I have. I have almost 30,000 subscribers there, but the count really stopped growing, you know. I was too late there. Mr. Dispenser is celebrating. I'm very, you know, stagnant on my Brazilian channel. I think I've already reached all the audience I could reach with that Brazilian channel. That's part of the reason why I started this channel here, you know. It is growing a bit slower now that I'm posting less frequently, but it's still growing at a reasonable pace here, the old school TF2. And you know, I think it was a good choice to make a channel in English, since I've already, you know, maxed out my Brazilian channel. At least that's how it feels like in the... Let me see if I can get Mr. here. Where is he? Where are you? Ah, he's already dead, okay. I was gonna say, where is you? No, where are you, Mr. Dispenser? But, you know, I think it was a good choice. And it is nice, you know, to see this channel here growing, even if it's growing a bit slower, because I'm not really posting that many videos. Invisible saxophone! That sniper taunt's great, I love it. So yeah. Curly Perez, if I watched Tropa de Elite, I think that's the movie you're talking about. It is a very good Brazilian movie, you know. I didn't really watch it because I don't really like that sort of violence, you know. And for people in Brazil, watching a movie about, you know, violence in the slums isn't really news. It's stuff we see. Ah, man, to get it. It's stuff we see every day on the news. So when I go watch movies, I prefer, you know, fantasy stuff, science fiction, stuff that takes me away from the real world, you know. Or historical movies, you know, things that happened in the past, like World War II movies. I think that's more fun than watching a movie about something that I already saw on the news, you know. But it's a pretty good movie. If you're looking for a Brazilian movie to watch, Tropa de Elite for sure is one of the best. I don't know what's the name of the movie in English, but if you look for it, Tropa de Elite, T-R-O-P-A-D-E. Mr. Dispenser wants to challenge me. Okay, I'll accept your challenge, Mr. Dispenser. There he is. that was an easy one. I have the advantage here. But as I was saying, T-R-O-P-A-D-E-E-L-I-T-E, Tropa de Elite. It is a great movie, you know, if you want to watch something like that. It's just that I prefer more fantasy settings. And yeah, Mr. Spencer, if you keep coming through that window, I'll always have the advantage there. Perhaps that's why he keeps coming through it, because he wants to see if he can overcome this advantage. It was another sniper. I thought it was Mr. Spencer for a second there, but it isn't. Okay, I think he's trying to come through here. Oh no, he's there. Okay, let's try and get him. He switched positions now. Where is he? Ah, he's here. Come on, Mr. Spencer. Managed to get it. You started the duel, and now I managed to kill you every time. I think this duel handicapped you somewhat, Mr. Spencer. I don't usually have, you know, opportunities to level up my duel badge, because I usually lose these duels. So thank you for that, Mr. Spencer. It would be nice to have some more levels, you know, on my badge. Where is him? And people want to play Gravel Pit. Great map to play. It's been a while since I've played Gravel Pit. You know, I quite enjoyed it. I quite enjoy it. Okay. Where is Mr. Spencer? Ah, he's there! Ah, managed to get me now. Nice. Finally, Mr. Spencer. So yeah. Hobby Sniper saying that I'm not having 100,000 subscribers is a crime. Thank you, Hobby. Hopefully we'll get there, you know, someday. But it's okay, I think, you know, usually YouTubers are too worried about, you know, numbers and statistics. They are important for sure, you know, and it can be quite discouraging to make videos that... we lost, but I managed to win that duel. It can be quite discouraging to make videos that no one is watching. I agree with that. But I don't think that the most important force driving your creative endeavors should be statistics. You know, like the number of views, the number of likes, the number of subscribers you got. I don't think that should be the most important thing for your YouTube channel. It should be the relations you build along the way, you know, the friends you make, the people you get to know, the interactions you have in the comments. I think that, for example, having good quality interactions in the comment section is a lot more important than having a lot of views, you know, at least for me. You could argue that for, you know, for your channel to be profitable or for your channel to keep growing, that's not the most important thing, but I think that for my enjoyment of my channel, the most important thing is interaction and the connections and bonds I make with people, I make with you fellas. So, you know, that's why I value a lot this moment we have on stream, when we can talk and share our ideas and chat and, you know, be together. That's what I think is the most important thing on a YouTube channel. And people should not be stressing too much about views, in my opinion. Unless you pay your bills with your YouTube channel, then perhaps you should stress a little bit with views. But if that's not the case, if you're a hobbyist, like I am, I don't think that should be your biggest concern, you know. So yeah, Rob Sniper saying I jinxed it. Yeah, you know, Mr. Dispenser managed to hit me that last time. I jinxed it, for sure. What else are you fellas saying? Let me see. Hobofake is saying the prof with the mustache is not yet 100,000 subscribers, but I have a mustache. Yeah, for sure. Of course, the mustache is worth more than 100,000 subscribers. That's funny, Hobofake. What else are you saying? Let me see. Hobby Sniper saying, what tip would you give to small YouTubers like him and others to grow up? I'd say, Hobby, the stuff that helps the most is to interact with people. One of the things I did here on Old School TF2 was to go watch other YouTubers and leave comments, you know, commenting their videos, asking questions, making meaningful contributions to their comment section. Because what happens then is that people will start to notice you on their comment section, and other YouTubers will do that. They'll check out your channel, and other viewers will also check out your channel based on your comments. I think that's an important thing to do, you know. Interact in a meaningful way on others' comment sections, and in a positive way as well. That helps a lot for people to notice you. So yeah. Bismarck saying, Prof, if you put on sunglasses, you look like an American policeman from the 70s. It's interesting you say that, Bismarck, because this style of mustache, I got it from researching, you know, I researched styles of mustache, and this one, I tried to imitate the one from a character from the 80s, I think. He's a private investigator from a series that's from the 80s. It's Magnum Private Investigator. I think that's how it's called. Any of you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever even heard of Magnum Private Investigator? I didn't headshot him. Okay, managed again. Nice. It's okay, I can die now. Nice. So yeah, it's this sort of mustache that we have on that type of character. So you're right about that, Bismarck, for sure. So yeah. Luis saying, maybe the real treasure is the friends we made along the way. Yeah, that, you know, cliche for sure is the truth, you know. I agree completely with that. That's the real treasure. And I say that not only because of this channel, but because of my other Brazilian channel, you know. We have our community server project and stuff like that. And we can keep that going because of the people that I've met there and that enjoy myself and then that really want to support me on that endeavor, you know. So it is very important to make friends, especially if you want to develop some sort of crowdfunding project or community project. On TF2 especially, we see a lot of community projects popping up here and there. And I think most of them don't really last because they don't manage to create a community. And that's the most important thing, you know. You have to create a hub, a space, an environment in which people can see themselves acting, or in which people like to congregate. If you manage to do that, your community project will work out very well, you know. I think that, for example, Balanced Mod managed to do that. Creators.tf managed to do that pretty well as well. But I often see a lot of small community projects that don't really care about creating a community, you know, and that's the most important thing. And to create a community, you have to make friends, you have to make connections, You have to create bonds and relationships with other people. You know, that's the most important thing. And it's why TF2 has lasted and will continue to last for so long, you know. This is a game that's very reliant on community and that really, you know, helps you to form a community. Because you can host your own servers and stuff like that. Ah, Pietro managed to get me there. I think that's really a plus on TF2 side, you know. So yeah. And Carly Perry asking, okay, Larry question, have you watched Kung Fu Panda and do you like it? Yes, I like it very much. Kung Fu Panda is a lot of fun. I didn't watch the third one, but I enjoyed Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2. 2 in particular I think is the best one, you know. But it is a fun movie, for sure. I prefer it than Tropa de Elite any day, you know. So that's a lot of fun. Uncle Liu saying porn star policeman. That wasn't my intention, Uncle Liu. But it's Magnum Private Investigator is the name of the character. I was trying to you know, copy this style of mustache. So yeah. Let me see if I can headshot anyone here. I think we'll manage to get this one very easily, you know. Come on, I'm rubbish. But I managed to win another duel with Mr. Dispenser. I'm still on top here. So yeah. Gravel Pit is Putter saying, Gravel Pit is one of the only attack defense maps that Scout is good on. I'm thinking about other maps that would, you know, have that same characteristic. I think Scout's good on Gorge as well, but perhaps not so much. I understand what you're talking about, Putter, you know, because Gravel Pit has this flank route here. When A is captured and B is not, Scouts can really come through here and get the team from behind. You know, it's a map with a lot of flanking options. So yeah, I think you're right in that comment, you know, Scout's pretty good on... I wanted to jump there, but it's okay. Scout's pretty good on Gravel Pit. And thank you so much, Spy Yushi here helping me. Thank you very much. Let me see if I can jump there. No, I can't. I think it's too far away. So we'll have to snipe from here. It's okay. But I agree with you, Putter. I think you're right on saying that. Okay, didn't manage to kill him there, and he's going to charge. And the medic popped an Uber on me. Why, Mr. Medic? Why pop an Uber on the sniper? There isn't even that many people here for us to target. Ah, come on. Oh, here's that spy there. I think it's Pietro. I'm gonna die. I was going to say he can't escape. But in the end, I couldn't escape as well. But it's okay. So yeah. RoboFake asking, Prof, which FPS game did you play the most in addition to CS 1.6 that all of the 2000s played? I didn't understand your question correctly, RoboFake. But I think you're asking, what first-person shooter did you play most besides Counter-Strike 1.6 in the year 2000? I think that's what you were asking. I think. Probably, you know, Half-Life Deathmatch. I've played a lot of Half-Life Deathmatch as well. That Pyro's gonna come with crits, yes. And I've also played a lot of Aliens vs Predator 2. Ah, I managed to get him, nice. I'm not sure if you fellas know, but Aliens vs Predator 2, the old one, was a very popular multiplayer game. So I've played that quite a bit as well. And Uncle Liu is saying that you know, because of the Magnum. I think overseas Magnum is a condom brand, isn't it? Here in Brazil we don't have Magnum as a condom brand. Here in Brazil Magnum is an ice cream brand. You know, it's a sort of a... How do I say that? It is those ice creams on the stick, you know. I forgot the word for that. But it's an ice cream brand, Magnum. Come on, that pyro was still, and I didn't get a headshot on him. Let's try to get this demo man. No, he escaped. It's okay. It's okay. So that's why you're talking about that, Uncle Leo. Now I understand it. Okay, got it. I don't know why I'm trying to kill Jibas here, but... and what happened there? I'm not sure. Okay, at least we have a sentry here and it will protect me. And we don't anymore, now the sentry is down. I managed to get that pyro again, okay. I think it is time for me to run away. Yeah, I won't be able to. It's okay. Yeah, it is Magnum ice cream. Yes. Yes, I think you probably have it in Europe as well. I see Devi and HoboFake talking about it. It is an excellent ice cream. I really like it, for sure. So yeah. No, they're not ice cream cones, Putter. It's that sort of ice cream on a stick, you know. How do you say that? I forgot the word for that. So yeah. Luis L is asking, what's your opinion on the videos Array7 and Zesty Jesus made about the future of TF2? Is a competitive or casual focus the way to go? That's a very interesting, question, Luis. You missed that, soldier. How did you miss that? And I think it's Mr. Spencer. I didn't recognize you, my friend, Mr. Hello there. Nice to have you here, Mr. Spencer. I thought you were still a sniper. I was chasing you around. But to answer Luis' question, I think that the future of TF2 for sure is casual. You know, I don't think that making the game more competitive centered or, you know, investing more in matchmaking and stuff like that will make the game last longer or even be better. In fact, I think the changes that came with Meteor Match in 2016 that added the matchmaking system, the competitive mode and stuff like that were actually detrimental to TF2. If you think about it, you know, for example, the bots, the bot problem, they are only such a huge issue because there is an automated system putting people on matches. You know, if they had to manually connect to different IPs, they could still operate for sure, but it would be harder for them to simply dominate the game like they are doing. The matchmaking system is one of the things that makes it possible for these bots to really ruin our game. And that matchmaking system is the result of, you know, that mindset of like, let's make the game more competitive centered. Let's make the game like, you know, Overwatch is, like Face It matches are, you know, that you kill for a match, you play that match, and then you quit the server and enjoy another match, and that cycle repeats. So I think that Zesty Jesus actually has a better point in that discussion. I understand, you know, what Array7 is trying to... Come on, let's go. You have to train more. You know, I understand that because I'm quite bad as well with the market gardener. It's okay, it happens. But you know, I understand what Array7 is trying to say, but I don't think the future for TF2 is competitive, you know. I think the future of TF2 is community servers and casual play. That's what I think is the truth. But you know, to be honest, I found that discussion quite weird to be happening now. When I was watching Array7's video and Zesty Jesus' video, I think that's how I would do the possessive. But when I was watching those videos, you know, great videos, by the way, both creators do a great job with the videos they publish, but it felt like I was back in 2016, you know. I was asking myself, why is this a relevant matter today? Is it relevant for TF2 today, you know, to think about casual versus competitive? Is that the dilemma we're facing right now? I think it is something that would make a lot more sense in 2016, 2017, you know. Nowadays, I think this is a topic that's mostly, you know, already done with. People have already agreed and settled on that. You know, I think if you ask most people today, they will say that the future of TF2 is casual. That TF2 is a casual game. Competitive TF2 is good and all, and it is fun, and I hope it lasts for a long time. But I don't think that what's keeping this game alive is the competitive scene. It isn't. It is the community server experience, the casual play, you know. So that's what I think about that. What do you think? Let me know down below in the comments. It would be interesting to know your opinion. But again, I think that the future for TF2 is casual. But I also think that this is an old discussion, you know, that we shouldn't be talking about that in 2021. It isn't pertinent, it isn't relevant anymore, in my opinion. I think that the dilemma nowadays is how can we keep this game afloat and working properly when there are people actively trying to destroy it, you know. The bot hosters, the cheaters, people DDoSing community servers and stuff like that. That's that's the challenge I think we should be discussing and coming up with solutions for. Not talking about casual versus competitive, you know, that's an old subject, that's an old topic. And there's Mr. Dispenser! Ah! I'll die here to this Demonite. Okay, I didn't. That's good. So yeah. And Hobby Sniper is saying, if your channel wasn't about TF2 but another game, which game do you think it would be your channel about? Good question, Hobby. Probably Overwatch, you know. I think if I could not play TF2 anymore, I would probably go to Overwatch, because it is the most similar game, in my opinion, you know, it's like the next destination. I prefer TF2 for sure. I think TF2 is the better game. I have more fun playing TF2 because, again, Overwatch is too focused on that competitive mindset. And it isn't a very casual game, in my opinion. But if I could not play TF2 or if I had to switch games, I think I would probably go to Overwatch. Or perhaps, you know, Counter-Strike Global Offensive or Counter-Strike 1.6 even. Those are also games that I enjoy, even though I haven't played them in quite a while. But I like them, for sure. So yeah. Bismarck saying, if you were Gabe Newell and could put the TF2 studio to work, what would be the changes, updates, and what would you make? That's a very good question as well, Bismarck. For sure, it would be a way to, you know, to fix this bot issue, you know. I think that what's even more important isn't to work on TF2, but to work on Steam, you know, to make Steam a more secure platform and a platform that's not so vulnerable to bot accounts, you know. I already talked about this in another live stream. And what's going on with Yoshi here? And there's come on, Putter materialized by my side and hit me. But if you think about it, you know, the bots can do so much because Steam allows bot accounts to run and to play the game, you know. People often say that it is a Linux problem because VEC doesn't work under Linux, or that it is, you know, a TF2 problem, that TF2 is vulnerable to this. But the truth of the matter is that Steam is vulnerable to this, you know. These bots are Steam accounts. And if Steam had a way to determine what accounts are being run by bots and banning or limiting the access these accounts have to the games, that would solve the problem, you know. So actually what has to be done isn't even to work on TF2, it is to work on Steam. And I don't really know why Valve is taking so long to do this, because this is a danger to other games as well, not only to TF2. It is a danger to CSGO, and it is a danger to any multiplayer game hosted on Steam. So yeah, I think that's what I would do. I would put Valve developers to work on improving Steam security and to enforce the terms of service, you know, because it is against the terms of service from Steam to run accounts true bots. You know, so I think I would enforce that and find a way to make Steam more secure. And I'm getting destroyed here by this scout with the Force Nature. It's funny because he also has the Force Nature, and that doesn't really have a high DPS, you know. But he managed to kill me anyway. So that's what's funny. That fight took a lot longer than it should have to end. So yeah. Hey, Bar Curly Patty. It was nice to play with you. Nice. See you next time, Curly Patty. Have a good afternoon or night, wherever you are. So yeah, that's what I would do. Mr. Dispenser is saying he would go to Source Deathmatch. Or to be a Minecraft YouTuber, yeah. If I had to play a game that isn't a first-person multiplayer shooter, I think I would probably play 7 Days to Die. 7 Days to Die is an excellent game. It can be multiplayer, but I like to play it on single player. And I think it would make for a good experience on the channel, you know. 7 Days to Die is great. I've never noticed this here. Huh? I'll have to no-clip later to see what's behind this door here, because I've never noticed it. That's interesting. I played TF2 for so long, and there's a lot of stuff that I've never stopped to look. For example, that thing. That TF2 logo, what is that supposed to mean? Pretty cool, you know. A lot of Easter eggs on TF2. So yeah. And I think I'll do one more live and end stream, because we're already clocking at 1 hour. And I have more stuff to do today. I can stream all day long. I have some tests to grade, you know, as a teacher. I finally managed to kill that scout. I'm just thankful for Yoshi here, he's helping me a lot. So yeah. Putter saying that he thinks the default settings should be changed. And that we should get a proper tutorial on TF2. Yeah, I agree with that. I think it is time, you know, to make the default settings more adequate to playing the game, actually. For example, you know, enabling minimal view models by default, I think would be nice, like I use here. Because, you know, the regular view... Come on. I gave you a chance, Pablo. You messed up. But I think the default settings should be changed, and I think a tutorial mode would be great. TF2 is a very complex game, and you know, the tutorial is bugged for forever now, for so long. It should get fixed. I agree with that. So yeah. And I think I'll finish stream right now. It's been 1 hour. Hov is asking if I'll show the game I've made. I'll show it for you, fellas. But first, I want to take a look at Steam trades, because I know at least Trolleyfish sent something last stream that I didn't have the opportunity to thank yet. So I want to take a look at the trade offers. So let's check it out here. Yeah, there are two trade offers. One of them is from Trolleyfish. Yeah, here, and I want to thank him for that, as I did last stream. You know, his trade came after I thanked on stream. So let me open my screen here. We have a trade from one of my Brazilian subscribers from the other channel, and here is the one from Trolleyfish that I want to showcase. He's saying that Uncle Brad wanted him to give me this refine. So thank you very much, Trolleyfish, and thank you very much, Uncle Brad. I'll save this refine to craft hats for our giveaway that we're going to do at the end of the year. So thank you very much for that, Trolleyfish, you know, thank you so much. And let me show you the game I've developed, the one that Hovin Sniper was asking about. Lug is saying, petition to make a 24-hour stream. I can't do that, Lug. I wouldn't last, you know, 2 hours. I stream for like 1 hour and I already get tired. Imagine doing 24-hour stream. It's impossible for me. Impossible. So let me show you the game I developed. You know, before stream started, just for some context, I was talking with the fellas here about game development, And I was saying that my whole life I've only managed to develop one game. So I'm going to show it to you now. Let me turn off the music here, so it doesn't messes the game sound effects. So let me go here. It is on a website, so it is a web-hosted game. You can play. It is free. Let me find it here for you. Where is it? Here it is. I'll put the link on the chat, so you fellas can play as well if you want. So I'll put the link here on chat for you. This is the link to my game. And let me open my screen again so you can see the game. Let's hide this server IP here. Yes, because we're not playing TF2 anymore. The game is called Bug Smash, and it is a Pico 8 game. Pico 8 is a fantasy console, you know, it is sort of like a pretend console, a fake console. It's something like an NES system. And it is a software you can buy. If you go here to Pico 8, you can buy the fantasy consoles. There's a bunch of games here, and you can play the games for free on their website. So if you want to develop for Pico 8, you have to buy the software. But if you want to play Pico 8 games, all you have to do is come here to the website and go into the carts section. And then you have a lot of cool games that you can play, you know. It's a wonderful platform. I love Pico 8 so much. It is great. And this is the game I've developed, Bug Smash. Just to show you a bit of it, let me put it on full screen. It is a game about smashing bugs, you know. It is similar to a mini game from Mario Paint, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, there's a Friday Night Funkin' on Pico 8, yes. There's a lot, Devi, a lot of games that are remade for Pico 8, you know. So there's a lot of parts and versions. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty cool. So let me show you a bit of the gameplay. The objective is to smash bugs and try to last as long as you can. You can see there's a timer there and a score count. And that's the gist of it. Whenever you clear a screen, you get a bit more time, and from time to time you can get a time drop like that will help you live longer. There's also some coins, as you can see, that give more score, and there's also, I think, a freeze power-up that will freeze all the bugs, you know, all of these flies. And that's it. The game has a 2-player mode, and it's quite fun playing this with 2 players. It can get quite hectic. But it's just that, a simple arcade game. Right now I'm developing another one, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish it, you know. So, as with anything, I start a lot of projects like this, and I later abandon them. I don't know why I do that, but it's something I do. But I like to play around on Pico 8 and program some random stuff. It's quite fun, I recommend. And here's the frozen power-up. You see all the bugs are frozen for a while. And I have to pay attention to the time so I don't die because time runs out. Let me grab this time extension here. And that's it. Everything here I programmed myself, you know. I drew the graphics, I even composed the song and the sound effects. It was a lot of fun, you know, to do this. I highly recommend getting Pico 8 to develop games if you are interested in this sort of retro look, you know, for your games. Let me grab this power up here because it also increases my score. And now it's starting to get harder because there are more bugs on screen. But I think you get the idea. I'll just, you know, let myself die here so you can see what happens when you die. But that's my game, you know, Bug Smash. Hobby Sniper saying it looks nice. Yeah, thank you very much, Hobby. I worked really hard on this one. And Uncle Leo saying it reminds him of games that he used to play on the Game Boy as a small boy. Yeah, a lot of Pico 8 games have that vibe, you know, Uncle Leo. It is a console that didn't exist, but it is weirdly nostalgic, you know, Pico 8. So yeah, that's it, fellas. If you want to play again, the link is on the chat there. And there are a lot of cool Pico 8 games that you can try. It's a lot of fun. I will go as well, Mr. Dispenser. Good night for you, and good night, good afternoon, good evening for everyone. Thanks a lot, fellas, for coming together to play some TF2 and talk. It was a lot of fun, and I'll see you again next week. So yeah, bye-bye, everyone. Have a lovely week, and we'll see each other